Alright, so we have the kits for the most part of at least the skill 1 and skill 2 for all 3 of the season 3 units. Now, with how they look on their skill 1 and skill 2, we could kind of infer that for the most part they're going to stay unchanged to how they look in the actual leaks. Now, I can say that some things will be different, and of course we do not have the passives. And looking at how Kyoto's passive was, we could imagine that the passives might get really crazy. But that's kind of a hope of mine, but we don't have anything confirmed at least. So we're going to have to see. And remember, this is very early impressions and not the actual kits. We should be getting the kits tomorrow or the day after. Probably Sunday, like the minute maintenance hits. We're going to have to see. But I'm going to guess it's going to be Sunday and not tomorrow. Let's start. Now, Asta is a red defender. And the problem with that is that we already have a broken red Asta that's a defender. We already have 2 red Astas, but this red Asta is a really good defender. He has both of his skill 1 and skill 2 have actual defense increase, so he's going to be able to, I'm considering with skill page, so he's going to be able to be relatively tanky here, but his ultimate is where he basically is just like amazing. He has a taunt, AoE taunt, while going into defense state, basically reducing damage taken by 50%. Like, he is insane for all of like his whole kit is crazy. Plus, he could also stun. AoE stun 30% chance if there's incapacitate. So great with Lotus, which is a big plus. And he could dispel debuffs and also dispel buffs. So this guy's really good. In terms of stats, if I were to compare, let's say, to Mars, just for the fun of it. Where's Mars? So Mars has what? 8,600. He has 5,500. And then Mars has 71,000 HP. He has 68,000. So yes, he has lower stats in general, but if we were to compare maybe to, I don't know, just a random, oh wait, let me keep this tab open and let's go to a DPS, I guess. I don't know, Kyoto, since he's the newest, he has like much higher defense still, while also having damage reduction on ult by 50% and defense up and taunting. This Asta is actually insane. The only downside maybe would be his speed. So that's kind of what we're gonna need for this Asta to really be better, is speed increase. Just have like at least 120 speed, but things with tanks, they don't usually get high speed. So the problem with this is that it actually confirmed that these kits are gonna be pretty much the same, which is a big problem, because we were like, guys, these seasonal units don't look too good. Now on the skill 1, we could see that. Oh wait, does it show it? I guess it doesn't. Well, maybe we could kind of see it. So on the leaks, it shows that it basically removes buffs, but the guy doesn't have any buffs on, so it's hard to tell. But for now, we could guess that they're gonna remove buffs, which to me that doesn't seem that crazy. Now skill 2, pretty cool animation. This one is going to basically remove all debuffs. Now, I'm going to guess it also does what it says here, that it's going to transfer the debuffs of each ally to you, and then remove all debuffs, which in some cases could be very good. If it does count stun, then this could make Asta very good against Rills, but it's not going to make him overpowered, because Rill, to be honest, is still not that scary of a unit, and removing debuffs is kind of good, but I just don't think it's that crazy, right? Of course, this does say remove debuffs. I don't know, like, to me it's not that crazy, and he doesn't have any defense capabilities. So if we go into the full kit, let's talk about it. Now, skill 1, of course, has a chance to remove buffs from an enemy. Pretty mediocre to me, not an ability I personally think is great, especially because it doesn't seem to remove shields. Now, skill 2 transfers the debuffs, a certain amount of debuffs of each ally to you, and then removes all those debuffs that you have. That could be okay. I don't think it's great. Now, the ult seems to be, it's an AoE, right? It is an AoE. Depending on the percentage of the taunt, it could be very good. Now, the problem is he cannot tank, right? This guy is going to need buffs to make him tank, but on all 3 of his skills, there's no tanking abilities. So this is where the passives come into play. If these passives are really good and he has high speed and really high defense, he could end up being amazing. And of course, there's the skill page to remember, which could also make the skill 2 much better. So there's a lot of things that we could still consider. But without the skill page and without passives, he's not looking the best, right? And if you need to do passive 2, that would suck. So overall, this Asta, you don't need. And if you really need a red defender, you've got this Asta, right? So I'm just like wondering what they're gonna what they're gonna do with him, right? So I think that he could be interesting, but right now, not looking to be the best unit at all. I personally do not really like him, but getting the AoE taunt is nice depending on what it is. Now, having basically a guaranteed chance to get at least one taunt off, because basically you have X% chance to apply taunt to a designated enemy and also AoE taunt. So like I'm guessing the person that you choose to taunt is probably going to get it guaranteed. That to me is very nice, especially if there's single target DPSs, but the problem is that Noelle is AoE, so that's the big problem to me. Now taunts do stop buffs, which could honestly kind of make it so that the enemy team is kind of screwed over. So I could see this being very good depending on how high the taunt is, but we're gonna need Asta to have really good tanking capabilities. Now going off next, Vanessa, green attacker. In terms of green attackers, we're pretty set, I'd say. List is good, and so is Raya, right? Fuego's not really, he's mad, right? But I'd say that Lich to me is pretty nice with his immortality, one of the only usable DPSs in this game so far. So we really need Vanessa to be as good as Noelle, but not really looking so. First of all, she applies bleed on skill 1, which if we check what bleed does, by far, oh, I don't know why I duplicated, by far the worst type of thing to apply, because it takes damage equal to 5% of maximum HP at the start of turn. You can only stack once. 5% HP is nothing. I would have much rather something else, and honestly, it's pretty pathetic to me. And first of all, it is guaranteed, that's something, but it's single target. And considering we know this is the same, and awkwardly enough, so is this. She applies herself this Blessing of Protection, which the green Vanessa has. Problem with it, it's to me not that crazy. All it does is if you block damage, you could restore your HP by 8% of max HP. If you block the damage, that's it. You don't get anything else. I don't know. Considering skill 1 and skill 2 are the same, we could also consider skill or ultimate is the same. And ultimate could be good if it's AoE, but we don't really know. And it says to an enemy. So I don't know, because having a chance to silence the enemies could be good, right? Could be good if it's AoE, if it's single target. To me, this is meh as hell. Her Grimoire skill is debuff immunity for X turns. Debuffs are great. Like, you have Mars if you need to stop debuffs. I just don't think debuffs are the problem with this game. Like, Lotus sure is annoying, but it's not Lotus that's that's making you lose your game. It's Noelle, right? So I just feel like we needed something better. If this is her whole kit, these passives need to be absolutely bonkers, and this needs to be AoE. If it's not AoE, GG. Now I just want to see if it's even possible to see if it is an AoE, because it's really hard to tell with how they do it. She's stepping on him, but to be fair, threads could be a sign that it's multiple people, right? So we're gonna have to see. But with what we have right now, Vanessa is not looking good either. I just don't get it. Now, blue healer, I don't think many people summon on Kohono, and the only other healer we have is Charmy. So it's weird because Charmy's blue, same as the SR Charmy. Vanessa's green, same as the summer. Well, the same thing, and then Asta's the same. They're same, not the same role for Vanessa, but for Asta and Charmy, it's the same role and same color, and Vanessa it's the same color. I don't get why they're so similar. Anyway, Kohono's a really good healer. She has double HP or double recovery, and one of them is a barrier with increased defense. I find it's kind of wonderful. Now, this Charmy does seem to actually be very good. Skill 1 is the same as in the leaks, so we're just going to go off the leaks. But then there is also something to mention. Just the skill 2 does have a bit of a difference. So skill 1 could grant continuous HP recovery to the person with the lowest HP. I think that's pretty nice. And you also could increase their SP. There's a chance to increase their SP, I'm pretty sure, by 1. I'm going to guess it's by 1. I don't think they would do it by 2. But it doesn't really show it. But I'm going to guess it's by 1. So getting SP is pretty nice. Now the skill 2, it seems to be an AoE. I think. So this is, by the way, she has 3 continuous recoveries on her, which is insane. So this grants all allies continuous HP recovery, and then removes X continuous damage. So if we look at the buffs that she gets, it is in fact the healing and also the where is it? The remove damage or dot, right? So that's nice. We don't see the crit damage. So I'm gonna guess that this is either a percentage now, or they just removed it and maybe put it on the ult. So we're gonna have to see. Now, as for the ultimate, obviously another support doesn't really show anything much, but this is also very good because it also applies AOE healing. So she has 3 heals, 2 of them being AOEs, and then she applies increased defense to all allies while also having a chance to grant all allies SP increase. So to me, she's probably the best unit on the banner. She gets double AoE heal with the single target heal. And then her combo can increase magic attack twice. But to be fair, it's not a permanent buff and it's only for the combo attack. So maybe if you pair her with Noelle, she could be crazy, right? The main thing that's going to rely is their stats on all 3 of them. Now, what I like is that this is based off HP. I like when the healers are based off HP and not attack like Mimosa, which I think was Mimosa's weakest point, is that she is based off of attack, where Charmy's based off of HP. So to me, this is wonderful. Now, the passives don't really even matter to me because like this already is great. The ult is amazing. Getting increased defense and also HP recovery, which I'm going to guess is insane amounts, while also granting SP on the skill 1 and ult is very nice. So I think Charmy's probably the best one out of what we're seeing. I'm really liking Charmy, honestly, and they did her justice, probably from really. She seems to be pretty good, but are any of these units amazing? Like, could you warrant summoning on this banner? No. No. If they really stay relatively the same, Asta's not going to be able to tank. Vanessa's not going to be doing damage. And Charmy is good, but like, you could pick one of the 3, so why would you want to summon? Like, I'm honestly contemplating after seeing all this, why would I summon? I want to go over Vanessa a bit more. So this is just going to be a general like recap of everything. The thing is with Noelle, it's her buffs, right? Her buffs is what's crazy, while also having great stats and also just her skills. Now, the thing is with their buffs, every single one is insane. So, first of all, multipliers highest in the game. So maybe Vanessa's going to have high multipliers. If she is a single target on ult, but she has like, what, 2 like higher multipliers than Kyato, I could see her being great. Now, Noelle is crazy because she applies a magic attack buff to her, and she only really wants to scale off magic attack, but she also applies it for 2 extra turns, which in turn, this could also buff your shield. And the shield itself is crazy, as it works like a kind of William counter, while also giving just like over 100k HP to everyone, and one person could get like 200k, right? Easy. And she also gives increased damage, and if you really want with the scope 8, she also heals. She does everything. Barrier, increase everyone's damage, does insane damage, and heals. And then her skill 1 also, insane multiplier for skill 1, while also increasing weapon enhancement. So I just think she's way too good. Then she also increases her own magic attack to make her crazy, while having the high speed, right? So that's why Vanessa needs to be like insane speed. Even if you have to like get her to Awakening 5, she has to have good speed. She has to do insane damage, and they have to give her more buffs, but they don't seem to be. I just don't get what they're doing with her. But maybe, because look, Kyato's passive, what they did, like, his like passives on the skills were like good, but the crazy part to me was most definitely this, right? So this is a pretty long buff or passive, so we're gonna have to hope that Vanessa does get that treatment. But right now, you shouldn't summon. Julius is coming out too, so I just don't get why you would want to summon, right? Like, we know Julius is coming out. They teased him, and he does seem to be very hype, right? Like, this Julius is sick. They seem to be doing a good job with him. They really like him, and they know he's hype. So I'm just like, why would you summon on the season banner if this is their kids? Now, of course, remember this, they could change. They could change. But right now the passives are what's going to carry them. Passives and stats. That's what we're going to have to see in the next 2 days. We're going to find them out. And yeah, I'm a bit worried though, but we're we'll get there. We'll get there and we'll see. Early impressions though, not looking great. The only one that I kind of like is Charmy. If she has high speed, she could be very good in PvP. So with that, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Very, very sad though with how Vanessa's looking. Vanessa was supposed to be the person that could rival Noelle and make for a more fun meta, but now it's not looking that way considering she doesn't have a good skill 1 or skill 2. I just don't think Blessing of Protection is crazy. But yeah, we'll have to see, I guess. But very sad. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.